Hi everyone, it's Heidi Smith here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and I'm also Flutter by Heidi, so you can find me with that as well. Today we're talking the Forever Greenery suite. Now I've been looking at the lovely paper that comes with this. So this is one of these suites where there's something for everybody. So even if you're a beginner craft, you can make some gorgeous projects using these stamp sets. So the stamp set, you can see Forever Ferns, got some lovely foliage. Does come with dies, but you could fussy cut these or just stamp them. Super sentiments. And they are the distinctive ones, so they give beautiful texture when they're stamped. And the dies that it comes with have accent pieces as well, not just the ones to cut out the shapes. So really well worth investing in, and a really good staple to have in your stash. The paper is lovely greens, but they're kind of bluey greens as well. So I absolutely adore these, particularly this one here. And it's got two of the current in colours. So we've got a bit of Just Jade in there, which is the new in colour, and we've got some pretty peacock as well. The other colours that are in there are Pear Pizzazz, Soft Sea Foam, that's a really delicate pale green, and Shaded Spruce and Garden Green, so lots of different greens depending on what you've got. On one side a lovely foliage image, and on the reverse something that's more sort of neutral, you know, sort of not quite so detailed. You can see some lovely leaf patterns here. You could pick out any of the colours there. Fabulous big ferns and some sort of dots. I love this one because it's nice and clean with the white on the back, and then lovely sort of darker coloured on the back on the reverse. This one here has some lovely stripes, kind of dotted, almost like a water effect. And then this final piece has these lovely, almost batik leaves on the reverse. So that's the Designer Series paper. It comes in 12 by 12. I have just got a sample there, just to make it easier to show you. I've tried it with 12 by 12 on my desk, and it really doesn't work. So I do keep a bit of a sample, not least of all so I can quickly refer to it when I want to. But I like to have that bigger paper because then you've got the choice. I don't cut it beforehand because you don't always want, when you've got a direction on it, it to be in the same direction. So I'd rather leave it as a 12 by 12, so I've got those choices. The other thing that this comes with though are these absolutely beautiful laser cut gold foil sheets. And you've got this one which is detailed. Let me show you this. So this is the card we're making. So it's got a lovely detailed laser cut. I mean, how beautiful is that? Laser cut, a punch, a bit of stamping and some paper. You know, so pretty. So you've got two sheets, one of which has these detailed accents. You can see all sorts of different ones there. A hexagon shaped one, a fabulous fern, and then behind that, and they are interleaved with tissue paper to make it easier for you. You've got, oh no, you've got more than that actually. You've got how many sheets? You've got 3 sheets like that, and then you've got these lovely panels. So you've got 3 sheets of die cuts and 3 sheets of panels, and those are, as you can see, beautiful detailed ones. So yeah, those are absolutely fantastic. I might actually just have to kind of separate those out, I suspect. But those are lovely, and I think would make a fabulous accent whatever card you were making, and would make it a really special card very, very easily. So I thought for the next card we'll do the same style, but instead of which I'm going to use another paper. So again, I've gone for this central paper, which is quite a lot of white background. This one with the stripes on the side. And then you're going to need half a sheet of Whisper White as well. So I'm using some Shaded Spruce for this one because I thought it was rather nice, sort of darker green with this one. Picks out the deep green, but you could perhaps use Garden Green as well. And I've used this foil shape here for our accent, and I'm going to layer that up with a bit on the front as well. So let's have a go. So to start off with then, you're going to need a piece of card that is 10 centimetres by 29 centimetres, 4 by 11 inches if you're working in US cardstock. I'm then going to score that at 14.5, so that would be your 5.5, just to make a tent fold card base like so. Now, once you've created your tent fold, what you want to do is line it up at 3/4 inch or 2 centimetres, and on the front you're going to cut down there, flip it round and line it up at 2 centimetres and cut again. And you just need to be careful when you come into the score line. Go short rather than long, and then you can trim it with your snips. So just come in there and cut across, and again cut across. Now that leaves a central panel now that is 6 centimetres wide. So I've cut a piece of cardstock that is just 6 centimetres. So if it is slightly different, it doesn't matter, because you get a nice little white border. So that's 6 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres, which is 2.5 by 5.5 for your US. Then you want a piece of designer series paper, and this piece is going to be 5.5 centimetres by 14.5, so that's going to create our layered panel. Then you want to flip your paper over, and you want 2 pieces that are 2 centimetres each. So just make sure mine is nice and straight, she hopes, like so. So I've got 2 centimetre pieces by 14.5. So that is 3/4 inch. So that's all of our cutting done. So what I'm going to do now is actually attach all of those. Now, if you ever get any furry bits, like mine, my blade I think is probably due for a change by the looks of it, just grab yourself a sanding block. These are just the nail sanding blocks, and you just sand on the reverse of the side that you're going to use, and that will just take off those little sort of furry edges that you've got. So, okay. And then all you need to do is obviously pop those in place, and then we'll do our stamping. So whatever glue you want to use, now you might find that a wet glue like our Tombow is a really great one, because it allows you a little bit of what we call wiggle room. And it hasn't got a high water content. So whereas some PVA type glues have quite a high water content, and you end up warping your card, whereas with this, the Tombow, it doesn't. So, I mean, obviously, you're not saturating it, but it will hold really well. And it's got a fine tip and a broad tip, so you can spread it if you want to. I rarely use the broad tip, I do occasionally. And then you just pop that in place as well. So that gives you your sort of narrow little panel, like so. And while that's open, we can go ahead and stamp on the inside. So I'm going to use our, because of the leaves, so these are the sort of long leaves, I'm going to use the stamp that's got that similar leaf on it. So you'll see here, this one, piece of paper, right, would help. So okay, so this echoes the style of leaf here, and because I'm using shaded spruce, I'm going to use my shaded spruce ink pad. And I'm actually going to stamp off. Am I going to stamp off? Perhaps not, actually. And I'm actually just going to come partly on the paper. Now you will get a little bit of a line there, but it really doesn't matter. It just means you've got some pretty leaves on the side there, and it's fine to stamp over your DSP and give it another different effect as well. So we can pop that face down, and we can now add our strip of shaded spruce card. So again, with your Tombow, you can just come around to the edges. Just don't want to have a big, thick sort of blob of it more than anything. As I said, if you end up with a tiny little border, that's fine too. If it bothers you, then what you can always do is come in with your snips afterwards and trim it. But actually, they'll be looking at the card and nobody will notice. So this is 5.5 centimetres, just gives a little border either side. Yeah. Okay. So if you turn over and you see anything hanging over, just trim it with your snips. And now I'm going to add this beautiful foiled accent piece. So what I am going to do is pop a dimensional in each of the corners of that. You want to make sure it's well supported, and pop one in the middle. I'm possibly going a little bit overboard there with dimensionals. It's not that big a piece. And then I'm going to centre that on my card, like so. Pop that to one side, and I've got a piece of shaded spruce which is 5.7 by 3.7, so 2 1/4 by 1.5, and I've then got a piece of whisper white which is 5.5 by 3.5, 2 1/8 by 1 3/8, and I'm going to come in with my sentiment, and again using the shaded spruce ink. Now you could always add a different colour ink if you wanted to, but I just love the way the ink always coordinates with Stampin' Up. You get a fabulous effect. This is where I hope I can manage to stamp straight. I can't normally, so it is just fitting. There we go. Not as straight as it might be, never mind. And then you can stamp that either with one of the leaves, or I'm going to use just this prettiest of dot effect. They're like sort of little water droplets, just to add a bit of texture, top and bottom. Ink away, and then just pop that panel on. And this literally is just a millimetre width. If you wanted to, you could perhaps just ink that background, and then again, a couple of stamping dimensionals on the back, pre-cut, makes it so easy to add these on, and they really do stick really, really well. And then on the front there. So there we have a pair of cards. No die cutting required to make absolutely stunning cards. Grab those laser cut sheets because they've got lots in them and they will last you and make some fabulous cards. Thank you for watching. Please do pop along to my blog or flutterbyheidi.co.uk to find the links to the products, or pop direct to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net. I'd love it if you chose me as your demonstrator. It really does make a difference. Thank you for watching, and come back and see me again soon. Bye now.